Afternoon, David Atkins, target individual. Today I'm going to show you how they do the gang stalking in the cars. Okay, and a friend shared this with me the other day, and I thought it was very interesting and very good information. So I'm sharing the screen, and I'm going to go page by page reading it. You see the car down below. It says controllable headlamps, heavy duty steering pump, controllable brake lights, reinforced rear bumper, heavy duty battery. And this goes for perps too, not just FBI, CIA leapfrog tactics. Perps, gang stalkers, whatever. This is how they equip their cars. In this tutorial, you'll learn about the mechanical modification they make to these perps make their surveillance vehicles. You see how these modifications give the surveillance team an advantage over you. You'll also see how the members of the surveillance team communicate with each other. You'll learn why you never see them talking. You'll see graphic examples of teamwork and tactics utilized by the surveillance team. You'll learn how they handle intersection turns, U-turns, returning to a parked car, and other situations. You'll also discover how the whole surveillance team supports the activities of the full surveillance team. Vehicle modifications. These I'm going to say perps because it's not just the FBI. It's more than that. And so the perps employ a potpourri of different vehicles in surveillance operation. Wheel artists drive anything and everything, including sedans, coupes, station wagons, pickup trucks, vans, minivans, sports utility vehicles, taxis, motorcycles, commercial trucks, ambulances, 18-wheelers, and others. Many of these surveillance vehicles have been specifically modified for their role. See the illustration below. Hold on, let me flip back. You see they got the controllable headlamps, heavy-duty radiator, reinforced bumper, and all that stuff. Self-explanatory. I've read it once. Probably the most significant modification is the addition of the cutout switches and dimmer switches for many of the lights of their surveillance vehicles. I know they try to make people seem like they're crazy when they report, oh, I got a car, one headlight following me. I've seen them plenty of times following me, and I've seen them use hazards, brights, and then when you tell people, they think you're crazy. Well, they have their car set up that way where they can just put one headlight on if they want. Headlamps. The driver can disable either of the front headlamps. He can also adjust the brightness of the headlamps. This provides a tremendous advantage at night. The agent can alter the way his or her vehicle appears to other drivers. For part of the follow surveillance that has two normal headlamps. For a while, it might show only the left headlamp, and for part of the vehicle might exhibit damaged headlamps, suggestive of a faulty alternator or low battery condition. Many unwitting targets of surveillance have been completely hoodwinked by this feature. Brake lights. The FBI can also disable the vehicle's brake lights. This is particularly effective when the agent has a cheating command of the target. This means that the agent is perp is positioned ahead of the target. If the perp's brake lights are not continuously flashing, the target's less likely to detect that the agent is adjusting his or her speed in order to maintain a constant distance in front of the target. Again, many targets have been fooled by this modification. Also, a lot of my perps have brake lights that's just as bright as the front lights, believe it or not. And I showed videos on Twitter of that before. Stall switch. Some FBI surveillance vehicles are equipped with a stall switch. This allows the wheel artist to simulate a vehicle breakdown. This deception is particularly effective in helping the FBI recover from mistakes during a follow, stall, or perps. When I say FBI, put perps because they use the same technology. Stalled in front of the largest vehicle and apparently unable to get the vehicle restarted. And a perp is able to delay the target until the rest of the surveillance team gets back in position. Bumpers. FBI surveillance team can be equipped with reinforced ramming bumpers. Those are effective when agents need to prevent a suspect from fleeing or force a victim off the road at high speeds. See, some of this is stuff that FBI and CIA uses on their car, but also the perps use it too. Okay, so some of this is for catching criminals, but a lot of it is stuff they use to freak some of us out or try to make us think we're going crazy. Because the stress involved in standard modification, on-road use, perps make a number of standard modifications to the surveillance vehicles. They often install a heavy-duty radiator and battery. Steering pump, also a common feature, along with top shocks and springs, enhance the staying power of the vehicle during long follows. One of our contacts recently told us they use stainless steel brake lines in many of their surveillance vehicles. This modification apparently boosts performance by overcoming certain types of condensation and heat-related problems during some weather conditions. And I'm going to take a minute to tell you about what we experience here, brake hazards, cars with hazards. You may say, oh, well, they're just having car trouble. Well, every car you run into has hazards and cutting their hazards on, weaving out in front of you, waiting on you in the side of the road with hazards, then pulling off. And when you pass them, they pull off and they speed up and get in front of you and stall on their brakes and try to make you slow down while they're in front of you. And just, and they're waiting on the side of the road with hazards. Then you pass them and then they drive real far in front of you, and then they slow down, start slowing you down, brake checking you and stuff, and that happens often and often. That's not a coincidence. Driver communications, a typical radio transmission between a perp goes something like this: gamma's flipping, possible spark or smoke. In plain language, this means the target vehicle just made a U-turn. He may have detected us. By using communication codes, they're able to reduce the chances of an eavesdropper figuring out what's going on. Anyone picking up the stray signal is unlikely to realize that it's a former surveillance team. For example, surveillance team communication codes return to our homepage and anyway, why you never see them communicating. Perps are trained to conceal their voice communications. Often two agents will be riding in one vehicle. In order to disguise the radio transmission, the agent in the passenger seat will turn his or her head towards the driver while transmitting. If you're stopped at a red light ahead of the perps surveillance vehicle, you will see the rearview mirror is two people who appear to be talking to each other. During a surveillance operation, they can use either body rigs or the vehicle ratio for transmitting. The body rigs includes a standalone internally mounted earpiece that's virtually undetectable unless you're looking for it. The effective range of the rig is much less than their vehicle radio sets. Both the body rig and the vehicle set offer hands-free operation. Case study, real-time communication. The FBI or the perps have found agent-agent communication in real time as a vital component of productive surveillance operation. Real-time communication gives the surveillance team a tactical advantage over the target. The illustration shown provides a good example of the principle. And as you can see, Alpha, Bravo, target, walking the park vehicle, Delta, Charlie, they're all on all sides. Now this is see, some of this is basic basic CIA, FBI stakeout stuff. But you can learn a lot of target individuals, what's going on if you're getting stalked on the road, okay? And see, a lot of times they will only stalk you when you first start out with your targeting. They'll only stalk you with hazards, or they'll only stalk you with red cars and black cars, or they'll give you messages on. They'll put license plate tags with messages on them, and they'll make sure they get in front of you where you read the tag, like you're finished. Are you hot yet? Stuff like that. I've experienced all that. Are you hot yet? And license plate tags will communicate with you. So what they're doing with this, when they do the black cars and the red cars, eventually they won't even have to target you with black cars and red cars. And I'm not saying that they don't, but if they want to take a few days off or something, or if you're done, some people get done with the gang stalking phase totally. I've heard them tell me about it. Me, I haven't. I've never got rid of it. But what I'm saying is they get you so sensitized that even when they're not even around and you see a black car, red car, you automatically identify it. Or if you see a license plate with writing on it and it's a word, you automatically identify as a word for you because you're used to seeing words for you. Or if you see any car with hazards on it, once you've seen it, it's for you. Any car with a broken tail, if it's got a headlight, even if it's a broken headlight and it's somebody that ain't got nothing to do with it, you identify with it. See, they get you sensitive. They do this when they first start stalking you, and they get you sensitive to all that stuff. So when you see it, you automatically correlate it with bam, that's a perp. And I'm not saying every time's not. I'm just saying any red car, black car, since you're used to it, they're a perp. One of my triggers is smiley faces. I can't stand it. Anytime some crazy stuff would happen, boom, somebody would text me from a text now number with a smiley face. And I'm sure I'll get some smiley faces sent to me now that I said that. So anytime I see a smiley face, even if one of my friends is using a smiley face, talking to me on Facebook or anything, I automatically start getting fishy. But I got to catch myself and be like, hey, dude, maybe it's just a coincidence. because they'd sensitize me to every time they would do something bad to me or perk me, I'd get a smiley face on my phone. Somebody'd send me a smiley face. So you really have to watch out for them sensitizations and not let it affect um, your relationship with other TIs or anything like that. But deep down, if you're a seasoned TI, you pretty much know this, because sometimes, smiley faces are a real set off to me because of what they did. So I'm so sensitive to them. I really read into it if somebody even puts a smiley face on a reply or comment to me. Okay, as a target wall. Okay, now and quit trigger as shown one of the ruses. So anyway, I'm going to go over here because that really don't even look like anything for a target individual. Sure, they follow us. That looks like okay. Cover camouflage is an important component of surveillance operation. They drive anything, everything, including sedans, coupes, utility. Likewise, the perps themselves come in all shapes and sizes. You see many different silhouettes. That's spy talk for personal appearances of an agent. When you're under surveillance, you can expect to see singles, couples, families, seniors, disabled, rappers, and so on. Anybody with a pulse might be part of a surveillance team. A common mistake. If you're like most people, you might be thinking of yourself, there's no way they'd use a sweet little 60-year-old grandmother. Yeah, right. Grow up and stop being such a patsy. They love rubes like you. Or maybe you're thinking, no way they'd use a punk rapper with cranked up music. Well, they will use them as perps too. So the reason I'm sharing this, like I said, this is mostly looks like an FBI sting operation, but this is how some of these perps follow you in their cars too, and this is how they communicate a lot. Any competent surveillance team, no matter which, will use your preconceptions, prejudices, and personal biases against you. So stop leaping to conclusions based on people's appearance. Go back and read that last sentence again. If you want to catch the surveillance team, you need to start evaluating people on what they do, not what they look like. To catch the perps, you need to size people up by their behavior, not their appearance. Fundamental tactics. As you learned in the previous article in this series, they utilize a floating box to track you during surveillance operation. The system components of the box are command vehicle, the backup vehicle, the left and right outrider vehicles, and the advanced vehicle. Under typical circumstances, the floating box is a powerful and versatile system of vehicle surveillance. The only occasions that cause concern to the FBI when the target are perps. I keep reading perps make a turn. As you learned in the previous tutorial, a surveillance vehicle that follows the target around the corners, easy to spot. Okay, the cheating intersection. When the target is approaching a decision point and her direction of travel cannot be predicted by the FBI or the perps, the perps team leader makes certain that perp vehicles are in front of the target's vehicle. This is a daily tactic. It has meant the ruin of many suspects who thought they could beat the surveillance. And I say targeting individuals who thought they could beat the surveillance. As shown in the illustration above, each cheating perp vehicle takes a different route. The perp has every possible scenario covered. No matter which route you choose, a perp surveillance vehicle has you covered. Many targets of surveillance have been reportedly fooled by this tactic. The illustration below shows more common implication of this intersection maneuver. Here we go. There it is. And you see that, and when you see FBI vehicles, cover it with perp vehicles. You see them at every corner they got you. And they replace 3 perp vehicles set at the target as shown above. Each vehicle takes a possible route that the target might take. It doesn't matter which direction the target chooses, they are covered by a cheating command vehicle. This technique is very difficult to detect in short term. The technique is so expensive in terms of personnel and vehicles, so the perps use it mainly at major intersections. Side street situations are handled by the method depicted below. Now, am I telling everybody, hey, all you got cars stalking? This video is for the ones that are still in the gang stalking phase. And like I said, there's still some that never left the gang stalking phase. And I really don't, I really think that's for verification, for reactions and stuff, to put you in the remote neural monitoring system. Okay, how floating when the target makes a right turn in the intersection, a right side outsider also turns right and becomes a new advanced vehicle. As shown above, other members of the surveillance team also transfer their roles. The former advanced vehicle becomes the new left outrider. The backup vehicle becomes a new right outrider. The left side outrider becomes a new command vehicle. In the situation shown above, the former command vehicle usually continues straight through the intersection so as not to attract attention to itself. It will be replaced by another perp being held in reserve by the team leader. The same principles apply when the target makes a left turn at the side street intersection because the type of maneuver by the surveillance team results in predictable positions. An experienced target can use a deliberate turn as an anti-surveillance method to detect the outriders and advanced units of the surveillance team. For more information about the anti-surveillance and counter-surveillance techniques, see the 4 tutorial in this 5-part series, and I haven't got that yet. Special situations. An especially trouble situation for the vehicle team, surveillance team, is a sudden U-turn by a target. In many instances, the perps have no way of knowing if the target simply missed his turn or if he's executing a deliberate anti-surveillance or counter-surveillance maneuver. The illustration below depicts how they usually respond to a sudden U-turn. And you see the diagram below. Okay, the backup vehicle immediately makes a left turn. This puts the perp in a position to the other perp in a position to monitor the target and slip in behind him as he drives past. While this is happening, the other members of the team will be doing their best to redeploy to the new configuration. Many newcomers who find themselves under perp surveillance soon grasp the idea that U-turns are an effective way to belittle the team. These newbies tend to make a U-turn, then try to detect vehicles following them. What they should be doing instead is watch for a vehicle making a quick left turn in response to the target's sudden U-turn. Over a period of few days, make a few unpredictable sudden U-turns. If you see a pattern of vehicles turning away immediately after a U-turn, you may be under surveillance or you may be getting perked. Decoy tactics, tailgating. That inconsiderate driver tailgating you is not always just some schmuck. Perps have found this diversion is an excellent way to take your mind off things that may be happening around you. Musical chairs. You stopped at a red light and the bozo ahead of you gets out and rummages through his trunk. Yeah, right. You get the picture. Confused drivers. They take forever to make a left turn, or they straddle lanes or start to make a left turn and change their mind. I've dealt with that many a times. All this happens directly in front of you, of course. It's an effective distraction. It's also an effective way to delay you while the rest of the team gets back into positions after a mistake. They will also do that stuff to make you late for work. If you are lucky enough to have a job as a target individual, sometimes I've heard stories where they'll do that stuff, the confused driver, to make you late for work. This is the same maneuver, sloppy driver, except the perp pretends to be reckless driving. He might drive on the curb, but I call this street theater. You know what I'm saying? And then honeypots. They will use pedestrians attractive to distract you while you're driving. They use this role more than most people realize. It's an incredibly effective way to divert the attention of the target. They also use customizing cars and other eye-catching items of behavior to capture attention. So there you go. I hope you like this. It's really for the people who experience gang stalking in the cars and stuff, and car stalking. Like I said, it was hard to do this video because of the simple fact it was talking about somebody under surveillance for probably wanted or watching, but we are under surveillance at all times. But they got remote neural monitoring stuff. They really don't need this. However, they will do this for theater. They will do this to psych you out. Like I said, they use all kinds of tactics. And the other video I posted today, I want to make something clear. Okay, Sabrina says it's not aliens, it's not UFOs, it's us humans. Okay, so don't go say David said that humans, that there's not other entities influencing this, because I personally, and this is my personal belief. Okay, I'm not pushing my belief. I believe, the Book of Enoch talks about the fallen angels coming down and showing man, the Nephilim coming down and showing man how to make weapons and stuff back in them days. Who's to say they didn't influence what's going on today to call off a mass? Who's to say that don't mean they're aliens or UFOs? Who's to say there's not demonic entities influencing the minds of these people who are responsible for targeting and torturing us slowly? And And I really think they want to keep us negative, bitter, and I think they just want to keep us down. You know, I'm really convinced these people want to steal our energy, take our positive energy out of us, and just bring us down to nothing. You know, and they've almost succeeded doing that to me when this first started. You know, I felt like everybody was in on it, and so I was starting to be suspicious and hateful towards people that really was wanting to help me. And then one day it clicked, David, just chill out, man. There's still people that care in this world. Don't go stooping down to the level that they've done talked about in the smear campaigns, which you're not. You're a person of love. Go walk in love. Don't play tit for tat with these people. Stay positive. Now, am I saying be a stepping stone doormat? Don't defend yourself if something goes down. No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, don't stoop down to their level and let this make you bitter towards everybody, because it did me and almost ruined my life. So anyway, God bless y'all. God bless EverTI. And I hope you enjoyed this vehicle. Wasn't one of my, this video. I guess we're talking about vehicle, so I said vehicle. Um, but just know that it's not worth going out and doing nothing stupid to try to prove a point. Don't go tit for tat with these people. God bless EverTI. Like I said again, I'm sorry. I'm just now getting hit today, and I'm getting real confused. So I'm fixing to get off here, and it's just this. So now my words. This is crazy. So anyway, it's not one of my best videos, but I figured some people that can relate to this would love it. So, and this is some good information. So anyway, God bless y'all, and please pray for me because they're starting the same pattern they've been starting for days. And what they did was they let up last couple of days, and now they're coming full force. So anyway, God bless y'all. I'm going to put a cold towel over my head.